Welcome everybody to Command Combat Battle Reports, and today we have Steel Division 2, and we are going to be doing the historical battle, and with me for the historical information is Cliff.
Hello, how you doing?
And with me for the humor, as always, is Troy. Troy, be funny.
Okay, so a German, a Russian, and an American walk into a bar.
That sounds like a pretty bad joke. All right, let's go on to
The joke, it's never mind.
All right, so we got actually. This is, like I say, historical battle. It's happening near Minsk. It's happening in 1944, and it's basically in the. We were talking about the
Central Army Group Center's area of operation.
So Germany had like Army Group Center, Army Group North. How was it?
Army Group North, Army Group Center, Army Group South.
And is that kind of with the Russians as well, or?
Well, they don't call it. They don't call them army groups. They call them fronts. And this is probably the Minsk-Bryansk front, and is probably commanded by Field Marshal Rokossovsky. Center was commanded by, I don't know if it's in 44, but Gunther von Kluge had commanded Army Group Center, and he was one of the Germans that believed no matter how much army, how many Russians are out there, they can never beat a German.
So the Germans think that they're super elite. The Russians just gonna try to push through them, I guess.
Well, the German way of saying how to beat the Russians is this: to beat the Soviets is let them run past you, then kick them in the ass.
Really?
Yeah.
So that was the German strategy against the Russians.
It's called either on the backhand or on the forehand. It was, when they would come by, you would give them the backhand and push them off, and on the forehand is you would strike first. And so they have a whole lexicon of how they dealt with the Russians.
Kind of how I deal with my nephews.
Yeah, basically.
So it was basically the honeymooners approach.
Yeah. I think that's
one of these days, Stalin. One of these days, pow!
I think
right in the keister.
I think von Kluge was probably one of the writers for the honeymooners.
And that guy von Kluger.
Yeah.
A little known fact about him is he preferred to be called Fred.
That's right. So let's look at Fred's armies here. No, actually, that would be the Germans. This is Jeremy's army. That's the Ivan's army. There we go. All right, so we have over here, they have, well, you can see that they have, man, I'm sorry, the cameraman is drunk. The camera work on this particular game is a little bit tricky. Anyway, so they've got motorized Razvedka. Forgive my mispronunciation.
It means Jeep.
Yeah, exactly. It's Jeep. It's got, when it has the binoculars there, it means it is...
Scout.
Yep,
Scout.
One of the scouts, one of the recon. And so you can see they got it there. They got one in the front here, backed up by another Jeep, although that's that looks more like it's some kind of infantry in there because it's got a little guy on there. Then a couple of armored cars, two armored car vehicles with, armored carriers with troops in them. And then in the back you got Sherman would be with the Lend-Lease program.
Yeah.
And then back here you've got a
half track.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
That looks like a half track.
Yeah, half track carrying. Oh, although actually it's not got the tracks. It's
that's just the regular trucks.
It's got a mortar. It's got a mortar in it. Over here we've got the anti-air, which is a truck. Actually, didn't the Russians use trucks a lot?
Oh yeah, because of the Lend-Lease program, the Russian army by 1944 was the most mechanized force in the world.
All right. Well, although they have, here we go. Here are their half tracks. And this is more of the Lend-Lease program, Lend-Lease vehicles, and it looks like they have infantry in all of those, and they're being led by more of those scouts or the recon, as I was saying, and another Lend-Lease Sherman. Their goal is to cross this river and they have to capture 2 points. One is kind of in this area up here, and the other area is back here. It was sort of, I think if you go back, maybe it doesn't show it on here. Anyway, it was about this crossroads here, and like right around this crossroads here is where the Russians are trying to take. The Germans are going to try to hold them they've got anti-tank gun, grenadiers there, probably their commander there. Actually, you can just kind of see it. Really visually just kind of shows you. You got the machine gun there. They've got the anti-tank gun still mounted with its vehicles, so you can see behind it that it'll have right there, and that is, I'm not sure what pounder that is or how big that is, but oh, there we go, 37 millimeter, Pack 36. There we go. And then they have over in this area, you got the machine gunner with some infantry. Machine gunner's hidden. Looks like these guys with the anti-tank guns are covering this bridge for anybody that goes across. So like the trucks try to go across or whatever, and the machine gunners as well. So it looks like they really have this bridge protected against anything that go across it. And this bridge just has a machine gun with some infantry, but the armor could get across. And then over here, looks like they're less immediately protected, but they do have that anti-tank gun there.
One thing that people don't know is, I don't know if it's even in print, but Stalin's financial advisor back then, Boris Stanislav, who wrote an autobiography some years after the war, talked about the fact that he advised Stalin not to lease the equipment because he warned Stalin that the Americans would charge him for every little ding and scratch and for extra mileage when he went to trade it in at the end of the lease. And history shows he was right. The Americans who sent over, there was an entire corps of nothing but used car salesmen that the U.S. put into force after the war, and it cost Stalin billions.
And he had probably put his credit card on there, so they already could just charge it right away.
Yeah, you know, it's funny to this day, you know, because he's so well preserved. Stalin there in his casket, to this day, he still receives past due notices.
Oh God, yeah, I get those myself, and I'm preserved in.
He's on the 137th collection agency.
Oh man,
it says they will not let him go.
that is. Well, it sucks to be Stalin some days.
Good luck getting a mortgage.
All right, so Cliff, what do you think would be the best strategy here for the Russians? How do you think, with what they have, they should get across that river?
Well, the best thing you can do, if they've gotten the air power, and I don't know if they do, is to knock out that heavy tank gun right over there on the front.
On this side?
That looks like an 88.
Oh, let's see here. It should say 37 millimeters there. Do they have an 88 here? No, not yet, but they do know they have 88s around. This is what it looks like in here. Oh, it's in a bunker, though.
Okay.
So they are ready. And this is all hidden movement, so they don't, the Russians don't necessarily see it right now, but I see your point. The air power may be able to go in there and find them.
Yeah, it can go in, and so the only thing they could do, if they don't want to risk their armor right off the bat going over that bridge, they're going to have to secure one of those bridges with infantry first, and to get their armor through.
Now, if they're smart, they will follow the same strategy that America's own General Washington took in taking LaGuardia Airport from the British during the Revolutionary War, and that is he'll cross the river at night with air support.
Right, exactly. Get across that river, just like that famous painting of Washington crossing the Delaware and attacking
with the
airports.
A-10 Warthogs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, back then, of course, they were made out of paper mache, but the principle was the same.
Right. Well, it was very hard to reload the muskets in those planes, though.
Yeah.
No, they had those revolving cylinders in their planes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It was
They were called puckle guns.
Puckle guns, and the progenitor of the A-10 Warthog back in the Revolutionary War, just like the Warthog today, was basically an airframe built around a gun.
Right. Exactly.
Which is why the Revolutionary War's A-10 Warthog looks surprisingly like a horse.
So as we're chatting, the Russians and the Germans the scouts just passed by one of their half
We're
tracks.
still doing this.
So they apparently
they've gotten across the bridge.
Well, they're crossing it at this moment, going right on that Jeep.
Yep.
Back. Oh, and he just got knocked out by the AT gun.
Goddamn 405!
And now the infantry is all moving over here.
Yeah.
You have right. Oh, the German mortar got back there with their truck, And just getting parked back there in that Russian
And
building.
see, he's going to stand back there, and well, as they try to line up, if there's a bridge over there, he's going to be lining up on the end of the bridge to knock them out. He knock out one of those tanks or one of those trucks. It's going to log jam everybody else.
It's very interesting that he went behind enemy lines to do it. Meanwhile, the Russians are
They
moving
won't be
some of their
expecting
infantry
it.
across here. Yeah, they certainly are. I mean, their scout cars saw it, or the recon saw it, but now they're going in for a swim. They're all somehow they're
Well,
able to,
they've been chased into the water.
but look at it. They're running across the water. They're all Jesus. It's all Russian Jesuses. They can all run on water. All right, these guys are going across, but they get hit by machine gun fire. And you have a Sherman
tank.
on the bridge. Yeah,
Tank coming
through there.
And he's going to try to knock down whoever's else over there. He's going to
People
go up
don't
to
realize we have a brand new version of the Sherman tank now.
What's
What's
that
that?
called?
Well, that's what Trump said.
Oh,
Oh, we
really?
do?
That at the July 4th parade, there was going to be brand new Sherman tanks.
Oh wow, they're
Oh my God!
well. I'm sure those will be better than everything that we've had since then.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, this Sherman up against a Tiger E. That's right there.
Jesus God in heaven!
So yeah, the Tiger is up there with.
Wait a minute, I thought Germany only made 2 of those
Tigers.
Tiger E's.
Oh,
Were those the giant ones at the very end that they were like trying to throw anything they could at it?
oh no, that's what are those called? Those are like and it looks like
Air
air
power.
power.
Yep.
There we go.
Took it out.
Yep, they know what they're. Oh, yep, they did. They made
out.
it exactly what you said they should do. Bring in their air power. Now the Sherman's able to get up there and is firing down into the town from above. So to look at it from the outer area here, you can see that the Russians have made it across this bridge.
Yeah,
Are
they got
struggling
that
with the middle one, although they apparently can run across water there. And then way over here, the infantry is trying to get across that bridge, but they are getting shot down
They need their air power there too.
by the machine gun. Yeah, in
Oh,
fact, and they're getting hit with artillery fire.
That
Yeah.
bridge is clearly
My
not ADA
God.
compliant. There is no wheelchair ramp,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And
which
this
they're-
could have made the difference
This
there
is this-
if Germany had taken the opportunity to build those ramps. Because by this time in the war, really half of the German army was handicapped.
no.
And it's a mortar that got behind. They're
Yeah,
firing at them from
that's-
behind.
Yeah, it's the mortar because they can't find him, and he's in the place where they're not expecting him to be, and he's aiming at the end of that bridge.
Yeah. That is one problem. That recon saw them, but then the recon went across this bridge and got destroyed, so he was never able to report back.
Yeah.
Hey, and so now nobody.
Now
And
machine
now
gunners got
somebody's. Yep. Machine gunners over here going, hey, we're tired of your BS. Firing at them. It is interesting. This is like the opposite direction from the way the Russians used to go. I've never seen somebody use that strategy of like, I'll put my artillery behind the enemy lines.
Well, see, these pieces, these guys can pick up and move, and that's the thing about it. They get in a truck, drive away, and set up in one place, and set up in more than one place. Their mistake was staying there, firing 3 shots.
Yeah.
They should have fired 1 or 2 and moved, and keeping the enemy from knowing exactly where they were.
And now they're dead. And so the
Float
Russians.
like a butterfly, sting like a Bolshevik.
Yeah.
Nice. Now the Russians have gotten up here and are ready at that bridge, and they're going to try to make some other setup. The Germans have moved across with the machine gun over here. Now they're actually on the Russian side again. This bridge is secured, but the Russians are still struggling getting through here. But they have made it all the way through here. Look at this. They have all of those tanks now set up here on this ridge, firing down on the town.
Now the problem is, if those guys can keep them over there, keep those other bridges from crossing, those guys in the rear over here at the back have a chance to rally
Yes.
and come after them, because they need to secure all of those bridges, and push the Germans back and split them in half, and that way they can crush the small.
This is a very common Soviet strategy. The Soviets were massive at coming up.
And they still are, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that the plot of every James Bond movie?
Yeah.
Ooh, the tank just took down that tree.
Well, that's what tanks do.
It's deforesting.
Maybe one of those can hold my lawn.
Yeah, it's true.
He's going to hide in amongst those buildings.
Yeah. Well, or maybe he's not going to hide among. Maybe he's going
He's not going to even stop.
Yep.
Not going to even stop.
He's like, no, I'm going right through your fence, buddy.
Thank God I saved my barbecue.
Yeah, no more.
There's 2 tanks firing at that.
Oh, that one guy. Yeah, I would not want to be that guy.
And he's falling back.
Yep. So, looks like the Russians now have 2 bridges. They have secured this bridge, and the Germans are starting to fall back. They didn't quite get in the middle, but they did push up 2 of the fronts, and they are managing to make the Germans pull back a little ways. They've not secured that bridge or that bridge, and the Germans now have a machine gun out front in the woods there. The Russians
He hasn't fired yet. He's going to try to let them get on that bridge and start chopping them up.
Yeah, and see if they maybe stumble on them or something. And of course, the Russians are too worried to go across that bridge, and instead they're exchanging some fire with machine guns. Oh, 2 machine guns on one. Yeah, no, they're not going to get across that bridge with just infantry. So, what's over here?
There's another bridge over there that has nobody guarding it. Whoop, there they are. They're the Germans. They're ready to move.
Oh, this is the main. Okay, I thought we were somewhere else. Yeah, this is that main bridge that they're trying to cross. Yeah, they're going to have trouble getting across there. Oh, here's where we were before, and then there's some people having difficulty getting across, but of course they get this machine gun watching it, and then here, yeah, is where you have, yeah, they're so well guarded with all the anti-tank, machine gun fire. Yeah, just like you said, you would have to have air power come in here or artillery taking those out. And there's a lot of them. It seems like the Germans have everything there protecting that, and hardly anything protecting,
This must be their line of retreat.
Yeah, because I think down this road here.
Who's that coming? That's a Russian
Russian
fighter planes and a German fighter plane behind it.
And he got shot down by the German planes.
Oh,
airplane.
That had to be a Stormovic.
Oh, and the Russians have gotten some infantry through, and they are now at this at the crossroads. They're inside one of the buildings. I wonder if they're going to have exchange of fire, or if they're just going to try to stay.
These guys are probably forward observers trying to lay down, figure out where these guys are, so they can call in artillery. Unfortunately, they know where they are. They know where they are.
And they don't have a lot of support. They're there with.
They're by themselves.
All by themselves. Man, yeah, the tanks haven't even gotten up there
another
yet.
Another Stormovic coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it the Normandy squad?
Let's see. It says, yeah, Normandy. Yak 9.
Yeah, these are French pilots.
Oh, okay. The French are helping the Russians here, huh?
Yeah, this is one of the squadrons, a French squadron that served with the Soviets.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
They were outfitted with Russian planes?
Yep.
Huh.
The new ones or the old ones?
They're using Yak 3s. These are top of the line.
Ooh, the crew got knocked out by this anti-tank gun that's right here. Oh, yeah, this is one of them is inside of the. Oh, it's the back of. They're firing out of the back of that. Yeah, the outhouse. Exactly. It's the back side. That's why they knocked it out. And here's one of the Shermans going by, but he does not see that there's an anti-tank gun right behind him. Ooh, he's coming at him. He is just parking right there, right in line of this anti-tank gun.
Line of sight, too.
Yep. Or did he get behind the building?
Behind the building. He's
Papa's dead because he was dumb.
Oh, yeah, no, he's that. Boy, you can see just a little bit of that front fender. Really?
Oh, I scratched the fender on my tank.
Oh, here. I don't know if they can hear you. They need to hear your smart-ass comments there. Oh,
Hi, this is Troy. I have a smart ass.
He does. Unfortunately, it only speaks in parts.
It's it's an underappreciated language.
Only perfectly spoken by people like Bart Simpson, who is the Shakespeare of the fart.
They created a salient.
Yes, well, in fact, it's interesting. The Germans have made it just with the grenadiers and this anti-tank gun, which one of the Shermans is driving right up into it. Oh, it looks like they... Oh, he doesn't see it. He went right by the bunker, and he's going after the infantry. But is that anti-tank gun?
Dog after a rabbit.
Oh, he just ran right by it. Apparently, I don't know if it's still... Yeah, it does look like it's still there. What's that?
Yogi, I think we're lost. Yeah, but we're making great time.
Oh! Yogi's just been, taken down. probably had some anti-tank guns in amongst that infantry.
Yes.
That's what happens when a single tank goes driving down the middle of the road.
And it's driven by a Hall of Fame baseball player.
Yep. Oh!
Airstrikes. Airstrikes.
Oh, here we go. Artillery from...
Wow, that's some nice range artillery.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, the artillery really... How far would the artillery be able to shoot?
Well, these are Katyushas.
Yeah.
I would imagine at least a few kilometers.
Yeah, tell us about the Katyushas there.
Basically, it's just a point-and-shoot rocket. That's all.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, one of the ones to see old footage of?
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah. It's like watching fireworks.
Yeah, it's a point-and-shoot.
You throw enough and you hope you hit something.
Yeah, it's for area bombardment. You don't try for accuracy. Just throw a whole bunch of them in one area, and it's going to kill whatever's in that area.
And here's one of the mortars firing along the way, pinning down a lot of the infantry over here. So that looks like, although it looks like they're kind of hitting them, but not really following up with anything. I mean, because you can't drive anything pretty fast in here, because now the Germans have reinforced that machine gun with some infantry, so they're actually having a bit of trouble going through there, so that artillery really isn't helping anybody. But it looks like they went with some infantry forward.
Into the woods, letting these guys come along the road and ambushing them.
Yeah, looks like that, although they have some in the woods.
Well, the infantry would have gotten off those trucks and gone to the bush.
Yeah, they flush them out, however, up against the machine gun, it doesn't even matter how many numbers you have, that machine gun's in that. Well, I guess that is a Russian strategy, though. It's like, well, they have a machine gun, okay, well, that has, 1,000 bullets? You send 1,001 men after them. Alright, so now they're going to try to get across this bridge again. And one shot. Yeah. One shot from the anti-tank gun.
Yeah, they're sitting right there on that bridge.
Ranged in, probably rehearsed, practiced on that.
That's what the Germans would do. They've had these areas out where you get you right in the middle of the bridge, so then it's stuck. There's no way to get across. They have to come and push the tank on.
Right, so yeah, now they won't be able to do it right because, as you can see,
he's burning right in the middle. That's a truck now.
That's a truck. It's going to be a little bit hard, although the tank can get by.
Yeah, the tank can push it on, but that's what you want to get on there, a tank. And then, if you're not going to be able to push that off easily.
Challenge accepted. Alright, now you have a little air battle going on up here. The Russians are trying to take and they took down one of the German fighter bombers, that is. Alright, well over here, it looks like the Russians have pushed forward enough, and look at this, they have a whole line of their Shermans up on this hill overlooking the town.
Okay, they're going to do a complete area bombardment.
Yeah, firing down on a lot of that infantry that's passing by. And it looks like now, I mean, they have that area secure over there. Oh, and artillery's coming down, so they're just going to completely get rid of that salient. The mortars firing down on them there. So, once they've cleared that, they of course have one of their objectives, because this is sort of the area of the one objective, and then they can push forward to the other one over there, which, one of the advantages of them the Russians trying to get across that bridge is the fact that it is keeping a lot of the Germans over there. It, of course, is being done at the sacrifice of a lot of Russian men, but once again, it's Russian soldiers, that's kind of their thing.
And here's another interesting thing, that French soldiers fighting on both sides of this battle.
That's right. Yeah, it's true, because here you had and there comes a shot, I think, was it from the AT gun, or that might have been, they have some Tigers, there's the Tiger over here. He is reloading and he got fire.
That's a Tiger.
Oh!
That's a Tiger. Those Shermans chilling.
Yeah, it is.
They're not going to even hurt it with that thing.
Yeah, they're shooting at him, and you saw some artillery go down on him, but
it's mortar shell. It's not strong enough to go through that armor.
Yeah.
The only way to get through that armor is they have to hit that tank right on the top, and they'll go through. That's the weakest point of its armor.
On the top of the turret?
Yeah.
And yeah, you can see he's been hitting some of the Shermans up on the hill. The Shermans had to get off that hill.
They're toast.
Yeah.
They're toast. When that tanker hits it, they're done.
So now
the unfortunate thing about the Sherman tanks, they had about as much punch as a 10-year-old girl.
I don't know. Have you met my sister?
You say a small girl, but...
All right. Well, I should check out some other parts of the battlefield here, but this is interesting. The Shermans are clearly making one of their classic Sherman runs around the Tiger.
They're trying to get to its rear, get the fuel.
Yeah. Now tell us about that. Is it you took how many Shermans to go against a single Tiger usually?
It would take a lot of Shermans to go against. There's a famous battle by Michael Wittmann, who took out 22 Shermans by himself.
But the tactic was exactly what you're saying here. They had to outflank him.
Yeah, they have to outflank him.
Shermans were a strategic tank.
They were cavalry.
Yeah, because you could do the end around, and the greatest way to take out a panzer division was to separate it from its supply chain.
Yeah.
And look at that. He just took out all of the Shermans that went around.
Yes.
He got the last one. He just sat there.
They sat there.
Down.
They sat there right in the open and took them apart because there's no way a Sherman in a head-on fight can defeat a Tiger.
The interesting thing is that the Sherman family sent more than 20 letters to the War Department demanding that they take the name off that freaking tank.
Yeah.
And here, you can see that. I was wondering what the Tiger was looking at. It's this one single Sherman that survived that is like, screw you, I'm going to Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Oh, and they just got their engine destroyed by, looks like an anti-tank gun that's back there.
So these
and armor crack.
So whoever is playing the Russian side, in my personal but accurate opinion, misused the Sherman tanks in this scenario. So the only question you put is, how much of a total jackwad was the Russian player at this point in this game?
Well, apparently he didn't know what he was doing.
I can't imagine who that would have been. But I bet he really smells good.
I'm guessing that we'll obviously not say who was playing the Russians at this point.
He's a very handsome guy, I hear. What he lacks in technical ability, he makes up for it in his awesome looks. Oh, here's it was going to be a EMCHA. You know what that is? Oh, this guy just got it. Because I noticed, here we go, it was an it was one of these guys. Here's a martyr.
Tank killer.
Yeah, it's MARDER. I think it might be a cast for the German. But anyway, all right. Well, they made a push, but now the Germans have made a push back, and they've re-established their bulge, which is
You know what the sick thing is, and I say this as we're going along here. This is just to put this in context of how far we've come in the military. One Predator drone could probably have just said, looked down from high above and said, "Oh, I know what to do here."
I was just thinking about the reestablishing their bulge as being the latest porn film.
Yeah.
I mean, today, this kind of battle could be totally handled by peeps in some UAV control truck while they're sitting watching.
I don't know. I mean, then again, I was sitting back comfortably sipping a latte while running this, and I somehow got a lot of Sherman tanks killed. I mean, someone who was playing the Russians got all their Sherman tanks destroyed.
Yeah.
Oh, and look at the infantry's pulling back. Just got fired at by enough German. Oh, and they went right through a gate. These Russian soldiers are amazing. They can run on water. They can run straight through gates. Or that was one of Jesus' abilities, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And lo, he walked through the gate.
So
Or he walked through the
God is on
fence.
the side of the atheists.
And there he goes again.
Now, we don't want to disparage the publisher of this game, but
No.
come on!
But come on! Ooh, look at that! Nice. Okay. Publishing the game did kind of make up for himself with
A
all
lot
that.
of dead Germans there.
Yeah.
Lots of dead Germans. A lot of dead French Germans.
However, now here comes the
Tiger.
Tiger, and he's taking down more of those fences, and he's supported by plenty of infantry, so they're not going to be able to just go up with a bazooka.
Tiger.
There's a Russian movie called White Tiger, and it shows that these Russians and their T-34s going up just one Tiger, and it becomes legendary because they're afraid of it because it won't let them get past where they're going, and they come on a large group of them. This one Tiger just sits there and picks them off one by one, and then it slowly moves back into the forest. It just backs back up into the forest, and this one soldier just by turn off his tank, and he's like, I'm not going to. He can, but his armor, even though it has slow armor, the Germans will hit right between where the armor turns and the body goes down.
Pop the turn.
Oh, okay. We have figured that. I mean, the Germans were pretty clever that way, weren't they?
Yeah.
They
Well,
have a
yeah, because the tanks didn't move. They just sit there and watch it come up, and they would wait for it to come up, and they point right at one point.
But the Tigers didn't have.
Oh yeah, they have.
Oh, did they?
Oh, yeah. In fact, actually, I think I figured out where it is.
They got replays.
Yeah, he's in it like that.
So they could stay in one place and not be.
See, the thing is about it, they would, just, oh yeah, they got it.
They did, but unfortunately not. Oh, you can see the recall there.
And see, this guy.
Are you saying he's better? Oh, it took down two. Are you saying he's better than the Russian player?
I'm not going to disparage Russian player at this point, but you're going to have to get this thing with something more than that.
Yeah, even like that. Okay, the airplane's going after it, but now with bombs, looks like a cannons.
Yeah, it's a cannon, 30 millimeter.
Yeah.
This 30 millimeter cannon ain't going to do anything different.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, developers, publishers, very cool add-on.
Oh, there's came down with something on it, but caused it to actually pull back.
Yeah.
And somehow I have finally figured out how to make the camera just follow one of the vehicles. I've been trying to do for a while now. Somehow I accidentally did. And that guy's taking on fence after. This community is going to be very upset.
Except for the fence guy.
The fence guy, yeah, he's going to be.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Take down more! Yeah! He's going to have a lot of work.
Oh, yeah. The guy's actually shooting a damn plane now. He's smoking. They got it. Smoking? Yeah, he's smoking.
This is the ground, yeah, let's see, how do I get off of this now? There we go. Alright, go ahead. No combat!
He's the milk delivery guy.
All the kids come to something in it. These guys have no respect for the fences. Oh, he just got hit by something.
Yeah, bad.
Let's see what the where we are.
They've been pushed back. The Germans, and this guy's been surrendered over here.
Oh yeah, I think that's the truck. That's the milk truck just surrendered.
Oh,
He's
and he's on fire.
Oh, or maybe it was just simply that he was putting out the white flags to be like, "Come here, kids."
But the Germans are falling back.
Ice cream, half-track ice cream truck.
I'm surprised though. It looks like they have some vehicles still here.
They got a lot more.
Oh, you know what? I think that was just an error. It was just like showing where they were trying to move to or something. Because sometimes you'll see like it looks like a ghost. It means that they selected to move there or something like that. Anyway, it looks like okay. The
Russians are pushing
forward, and they have 5 more tanks again up against that Tiger. I'm surprised the Tiger's letting them do that.
He's
Are you saying it's a trap? Oh my God! Something hit it. That was the Tiger. Oh, it was looking the wrong way. It was probably trying to retreat.
They got him.
Got a lucky hit in the back. So now there isn't anything to stop
Now
the
there's
Russian
nothing there to
push.
stop him.
Yeah. at least not right in front of them. You can see the Germans are starting to bring in their reinforcements, but the Russians are pushing
Well,
forward.
now I have to change my mind officially and say that the German player was a blue cop.
And he lost another airplane.
Yeah, a lot of airplanes going in and out of there. Now it looks like they. 'Cause I was thinking, okay, they do need to get going on one of these other bridges because they can't just keep going back and forth there. It looks like they have this. What
Oh,
is it?
that's a tank. Yeah, it's a tank. It's a Russian heavy tank. That's what got the tank.
Oh, right.
That's a tank killer. That's
That was
100.
essentially
That's 120.
mobilized artillery.
Yeah, that's 120 millimeter gun on that
Is it?
thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that thing is.
You
Blast
gotta
out.
turn the whole tank to get that.
Yep. They really, although they're right by. Oh, just a machine gun, so that's not gonna hurt them.
Yeah, what was the crew on that? It could have been more than
5.
what is it, 5?
Yeah. You have a gunner.
How many
Oh, AT gun took them out.
took out the tank killer?
Yeah, right here. And it was the that one that's this guy
Yeah.
right here is gonna get a gold. What is the
Yeah.
cross? The German
Iron
cross?
Cross.
Iron Cross
I
because
crossed first class.
because he has just been knocking them out from every direction, and you can see the Russians have tried to make some more pushes here.
See, yeah, they pile them up on the bridge.
Yep.
And that bridge is closed. That one's closed.
Yeah, they're not getting through with any more tanks. So you can see it was 3 tanks in the truck.
Mhm.
1, 2, 3, 4 tanks.
More tanks in the truck.
Tried to get through there. Unfortunately, I
It
wasn't.
is like an accident on the 405.
Yeah, exactly. And you can see that they have a couple of them there. The Russians have, but they're not going to be able to do anything. So they need to just go after this bridge here. Because right now it looks like the Russians have gone back up on this hill. They're trying to go down across there. They're getting hit by those anti-tank guns.
That tank up there with those guys on that hill.
Oh, okay.
That's what the tank is.
Right, because he wouldn't be getting taken down by these. Although they are starting to take out some of their artillery there with the mortar. And you can see there's this rain down terror on them.
So is the biggest mistake of the Russian player not using air power more effectively?
Well, whoever the German has, I don't know if they're Mr. Smith, he's using, they use and what he should have used to kill tanks was a stronger weapon, not the gas. Gas are basically their superiority.
Oh, here the Russians do have one of their ISU-152.
Yeah, that's a tank killer there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although one.
I was going to say, yeah, I mean, it didn't have a current gap facing the target. But because of, like you said, it's 120 millimeter cannon.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah,
it is.
it's a land-based version of an A-10 Warthog.
Yeah, it'll take out a type straight up, go
Yeah.
right through its little arm.
Oh, here comes more of it. There's that glorious. Oh man, and like normally I'm a peace-loving guy in real life, but I have to say this looks impressive, especially this falling back, bend down. Yep. Oh, and there's that big gun, the 120 millimeter.
Oh.
Well, it's a little
Little
gratuitous. And yeah, that just
Cake?
Little cake.
Oh, little cake.
little Katie. And then now there are 3 tanks still left for 2 Shermans still left going around. You can see there's another one of those Tigers. They're going after them again, trying to run around their flank.
Need the big gun. Need the big gun.
That's true. Although the big gun's way back there.
Yeah, they are very slow.
Yeah, that is one thing. You're not going to get all those glorious charges.
So,
Oh,
here's a picture of 2 of the 3 tables of fireworks.
God. Oh,
He could have made a difference in this battle.
yeah.
Yep.
Steak,
All right.
Steak Russian didn't alter it and help fight.
He's beginning to know way too much about setting up fuses. He's like giving me a tour going, yeah, that's a 2-second fuse, and that's a 4-second fuse. I'm like, okay, dude.
All right. So it looks like they got behind the Tiger, but now there are a bunch of buildings between them and the Tiger.
It's a good thing because
It is, unless they're trying to destroy the Tiger. I think they tried to get behind it to destroy it. Unfortunately, the Tiger now is escaped from them, and there's only.
well, if he has, if if they
Oh.
set this up right, they could get the tank from the dirty work while he's chasing the tank.
I love how that one tank was directed right down one of the fence lines. It was like he had something against that fence. And oh, they're going right on by. They're just like, screw this, we're heading out of here. Actually, I think they're trying to open up.
See, and this is what the Sherman was best at.
Yep, getting around behind.
It was little, it was compact, it could go places like the big tanks could go.
Field tank like the Tiger could go.
Yeah, and it could cross bridges
Yep.
that the Tiger couldn't cross.
Right.
And it was excellent in, like you say, being armored cavalry. Outflanking and wreaking havoc in the rear area of your opponent.
Except when that rear has an anti-tank gun, which has been lighting him up. See right there. Oh, somebody got
hit
hit.
him back, though. Hit him back.
Right back, yeah.
With that 75 millimeter.
Yeah. Against tanks, the 75 millimeter isn't quite so great, but against infantry, yeah, I can really, like you can see, they're right in the rear of all of that infantry, and basically going to go try to clear off that bridge, but it's kind of too late because, oh no, this is the other bridge. This isn't that one.
That's the one on the farther end that didn't have a lot of people on it.
Right, exactly. So, and now the one that now the Germans are using, sending some infantry on across. I think the Germans kind of know where these bridges are a little bit better than the Russians.
But they're being surrounded. Slowly but surely, they're being surrounded. They're going to be touched. If they can close up those two ends of that bridge, they've got a pump of full Germans that are going to have to surrender sooner or later.
Isn't there a song like that? Now, yeah, you can see these. Oh, and one of the two of those tanks are rushing forward. They're going to go try to take out that infantry. They don't have a lot of time left. There's only 38 seconds left in the battle. But oh, the turret is now stuck, so it's turned into one of those
Tank killers.
Yeah, tank killers.
All right. My best joke of the night.
What's that?
Is that a battle of the bulge, or you just happen to see it?
I tried that in a bar. It didn't quite work. But there is your
Depends
bulge.
on the bar.
There's your big gun, and it's shooting out some of the larger artillery. But we only have about 10 seconds left on this, so everybody, I want to thank everybody for coming and for watching. It looks like it's going to be a draw here in a moment, so it's going to kind of clear off here. Yeah, 3,
For Germany,
2.
that is a victory.
Yeah, it's about.
At this point.
And there we go. There's a draw. Stemming the tide, 2 versus 1. That is the first of this campaign. We'll see some of the others as they come along. In the meantime, well, actually, let's take a look at these team stats. There you go. It's a draw. Chronology, a lot of different things happening. Anybody wants to pause and take a look at that? That's way too much for me to read.
Yeah.
There's your kills for the evening. And for anybody who's keeping track, the losses. Oh, just way too many losses. And experience. All right, well, that'll do it for us here. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to subscribe and watch our many videos. Happy gaming, everybody.